Hey guys, Happy New Year. We are jumping back into week 7, finance. Quick disclaimer here, I am not a financial expert. The information that I'm going to share with you today is the information and the questions I had to ask myself to switch my mindset from a $30,000 a year mindset to a six-figure mindset. Okay, so I've literally quadrupled my income. And I want to share that information with you about how I did that. I didn't do it because, oh, six figures is this hot goal. That's what it took to support my goal at the time. And I'm going to go into that further, but this is the mindset you need to have. Your income should not be what sounds good to somebody else. That your income goal should never be just because it sounds good to somebody else. Okay. Your income goal should be, this is what I want to make because this is what it's going to take to support my goals. Let's get going. And this isn't your typical make a budget kind of finance. And while, yes, I do recommend making a budget, and we can talk about that, absolutely. If you need help with that, let me know. There's tons of resources out there. I can send you a budget template. However, this is more about your mindset towards your income. Okay. And the one thing I noticed about a lot of people when I begin vision boarding with them is they have this attitude towards money like it's a bad thing to want more. The other thing I've noticed is people having a loyalty to a workplace. And loyalty is a great thing. It's not a great thing to have to a company that you don't own or to a company that isn't helping you fulfill your goals or your purpose. Because a shift in strategy can mean that you don't have a job tomorrow. And let me frame it up to you like this. If your work, for example, is to be an art teacher, you go to work every day, you do a great job with your students, you have students who win awards. The state suddenly determines that art is no longer required. And then just like that, you don't have a job anymore. And it has nothing to do with your performance. Nothing. You were great. You were amazing. Students loved you. You did a great job. Your students were winning awards, were getting scholarships to school, but the state determined it wasn't required anymore. Therefore, you don't have a job anymore. Take me, for instance. I went to work every day. I was performing at a peak, winning multi-million-dollar proposal contracts. And my company determined that they were going to go with a different marketing strategy. And because of my job title, because they were doing a mass layoff, they determined that my job title was no longer needed. Okay. And they did not discuss it with my department at all. Therefore, my supervisors, my immediate supervisors, and the people I worked with every day, my team members had no idea that this was going to happen. My job was cut. Just like that. It wasn't performance based. I had 4s and 5s, which means I was exceeding expectations in my job role, exceeding expectations, and I was cut from the company just because they changed strategy. Okay? It had nothing to do with performance. When you tie your loyalty to a company that is going to make changes in their best interest, you are on the line. You don't have job security. I know you think you have job security, but you really don't. So not only are we stifled by this opinion that, oh no, it's greedy to want more, but we're also stifled by this loyalty. If I leave, they're going to be whatever without me. They're going to be screwed without me. You might be excellent at your job. I promise you, they will figure it out. They will. They'll figure it out. You have to have your own best interest in mind. You cannot rely on somebody else. So if you hold that mentality of loyalty to a company so you can't leave, or you have this negative opinion of an increase in income, my goal is to help you switch that. And let me explain why. It is not about wanting more. Okay. It's not. It's really about having enough to sustain your wants and needs. So, not just needs. I think people think of income like, okay, how much is it going to cost for me to have shelter, food, water, clothes, my necessities, right? Like your income equals the amount you need to sustain those things. Um, And that's not it. Like, you can do so much more. And if you think about things the right way, you'll want to do much more. So you might think you have those things, and you even have some disposable income to do more. And so maybe you are going on vacations and you are doing these other things, but maybe you're not funding all of your goals. So your goal could be as little as wanting to be able to go to brunch with your friends every Sunday and not having enough money for that, or as big as I want to start a business and I need $10,000 to do that. Whatever your goal is, that's what your income goal needs to be. So, well, yes, you can take on debt and you can get funding for certain things. And yes, that's probably going to be a part of it for some of those really, really big goals. There is an adjustment to your budget that needs to be made. So you're still going to have to pay back that loan if you get a loan for a business. So you do need to adjust your budget to account for whatever that loan payment's going to be. So all of it integrates. Your income supports your wants, needs, your hobbies, all of the things, your family. So let me ask you a series of questions just to get you thinking about whether or not you have the income to support what you need. Can you fund a diet that prioritizes your physical health and well-being? So that means, do you need to, let me ask it this way. If you are somebody who's having health issues because of, let's say, obesity, and your doctor has recommended that you lose weight, but you look at your grocery budget and you say, well, this my budget's only 120 bucks a week, and I can only buy chips and pop off of that because healthy food is too expensive. We need to adjust your budget. We need to earn more income potentially to support your health needs, right? Because your health is number one priority. You can't do anything if you're not healthy. That's number one. So you do need to look at that. That's extremely important. Do you have disposable income to support activities with family and friends? So if somebody's birthday comes up unexpectedly, do you have that disposable income to just go buy a gift if you need it, if you forgot something? Can you just go on a vacation if you want to? Do you have a 3-month emergency fund? So if you follow Dave Ramsey or really any financial expert, they're going to tell you to have an emergency fund anywhere from 1 to 3 months. I think Dave Ramsey is 3 months. That is my goal, is to have a 3-month emergency fund, because anything could happen. That's the reality of it, right? And it takes time to get a job again after you've lost a job, or if you get ill, you need that time to heal and to get a new job if you have to. So do you have a 3-month emergency fund? If not, you need to add that to your goal list, and then you need to adjust your income and budget to account for that. When it comes to your relationship goals, do you have the money to support the relationships you want? If you're a guy and you want to be dating a woman, do you have the money it takes to be in the dating world? As a woman, do you have the money it takes to take care of yourself to be in the dating world? Because for me, if I'm dating, I have to pay for babysitters. I got to get my hair done, my nails done. I don't always do those things, but sometimes I do. And it's nice to have that, right? You've got to have, it costs money to do those things. So do you have the budget for that? If that's a want and need, you need to account for that in your budget. Your environment goals. If you want to, like for me, I want to set up my office really nice. My home gym, that's an environment goal. I want to set up my home gym, but I'm missing like a weight bar right now. So that's one of the things I'm going to have to account for in my budget. Health goals, again, home gym. So that's kind of one of my health goals. The other one, I really like Factor. It's a food delivery system, and it helps you like lose weight, right? I mean, because it's like having a home chef. So when I make enough money, that's one of my goals of mine. When I have enough money, I will have a home chef, I promise you. Debt and savings. So are you paying off all your debt? Do you have the money to do that? Personal development goals. Is there a class you want to take? Is there a skill you want to learn that you need to pay a mentor to learn? Do you need a personal coach for something? Do you have a fully paid education fund or plan for your child? So are you contributing to a fund for your kid, a 529, to help them when they become a student, whether they want to go to a trade school or some other, or a traditional college? Do you have a plan for that? Is all of your unsecured debt paid off? Unsecured means it's like credit card debt. It doesn't have a item that the bank will take to pay it off. So it's not your home, it's not your car, it's unsecured. Basically, credit card debt is unsecured, hospital bills are unsecured, those types of things. Okay. If not, we need to get a payment plan in place. We need to get our budget adjusted to account for those things. Can you fund your hobbies? Can you fund your purpose? Those all cost money. They all need to be accounted for in your income goal. Okay, so what you do is you take all 5 of those areas, you add them up, and then you figure out what your income needs to be. So whether that's promotions to sell your products. My products, I just launched them on Amazon. I'm researching it. They're telling me I'm going to be $4,000 in the hole before I begin to profit. That's wild. I didn't account for that. I'm like, whew, I didn't account for that. Okay. I'm going to post these and they're going to just fly and we're going to be all good. No, that's not what happened. I have to run ads to get, like, it's pay to play. You got to run ads to it. And then you have to build your reviews on your Amazon page. So I've got all of these things I have to do that's going to cost me money before I can actually begin to sell my product. And guess what? Then it's going to be 2027. So now I need to start planning. I've got like all of these barriers that I have to do, which is fine. Like, I love this stuff. This is fun for me. I will figure it out all day long. But the reality is that there's a financial backing, right? $4,000 that I have to come up with to support that, because this is something I really want. I really want my products out there for people. They're super helpful. I know they're going to change lives. So that's my desire. I want my products out there. I want people using them. Okay. But the reality is it costs $4,000. So in my book, within my memoir, let's see, page 74, I think it is. Okay. Yeah. Within the vision boarding activity in my book, I ask some questions about finances because it's important, right? When it comes to your finances, what part of your current situation makes your chest tighten and your stomach drop? So maybe I didn't mention your issue in that list of questions, but there's something else you're thinking of right now that you're just like, every time I think about it, I just get sick. I just feel physically ill. Is the weight of debt, the lack of savings, or the paycheck that's always gone too soon the issue? What goals do you want to reach? And how can money become a tool to help you get there? Okay. So every goal that you have is going to have a financial need. Figure out your goals, figure out the finances, and don't be stressed out. Don't be like, I can't reach that because I don't have the finances. Because the next step is to say, okay, where can those finances come from? What can I do? I work from home, right? What can I do to fund my passion project? What can I do?